Jürgen, can you bring us up to date with the injury situation? Thinking Danny Ings, how's he? Adam Lallana and Nathaniel Klein, how far away are they?
Too far away to think about them. No, Ings is in training, so of course. But Adam and Klein are too far away. Thinking about it, they have to build. Maybe Adam can start running this week, and or beginning of next week. And Klein is improving a lot, but yeah, in the moment when he could, what I'm not sure about when it will be, start training completely normal, then he need obviously time for a kind of a pre-season preparation for the season. So that's the situation.
Without Sadio Mane, you've got 44% win rate. With, you've got 66% win rate. How difficult a decision is facing you? You've got options to bring in. Phil Coutinho now, is he ready to start? And just how big a decision is it facing you to replace Sadio this weekend?
We know it's in a few days and that Sadio will not play, and it was clear before the season that there will be moments when he cannot play or should not play, maybe in other games. So that's how we reacted in building the squad. So we have options. We have enough options. Roberto already played left wing. Of course, Phil can play there. Of course, Alex can play there. Probably different. We have more options. So that's all good. We can change the system. We can do a lot of things. And yeah, but we had a very. It's always difficult to replace top-class players in a really good shape, but we did it last year at the end of the season, so we had to play without him, and I think in most of the games we did really well. So that's it.
And it's a topic that's been raised a number of times when it comes to the defending, but is there a confidence issue within that defensive unit at the moment?
No, it is not. Our fault is that we obviously give with some things we give you all the opportunity to talk about it. That's our mistake. So it's a lack of concentration. I think everybody who played ever football missed the ball in whichever situation. And for a defender, it's like for a goalkeeper. Sometimes you can play, you can make a world-class game, but in the wrong moment, you do something like this, and it's a goal. That's the problem for all defenders, but it's not a quality thing. But in how it is here, it is kind of a little bit. It looks for me a little bit like self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's always we're talking about this all the time, and everybody conceded goals so far. And if we cannot take out the 5 goals of City, of course, but if we would do it, then we had a lot of games with decent defense performances. But it's such a. It would be easy to have a look at this team and say it's so exciting how they play and it's so good how they play. But obviously, I'm not sure if it's the world in general or it's a Liverpool thing. We're always looking for one thing we can be angry about, we can be not happy with, and that's the situation. But it's our mistake that we give these opportunities. First goal, which we conceded in the last game, we made 5 mistakes before the final mistake, and the second goal was a quick throw in, and until he came between the 2 defenders, there were already another 3 or 4 options to avoid this situation. So that's the problem we had, and it's not. Yes, it's a defending problem, but not a defending problem of the centre halves or whatever, because they can defend what we give them, and sometimes situations are not to defend anymore. I'm not sure if the second one is one of these situations, but it was unlucky. Then how he went through the 2 boys and then he scored. It's like it is, but really, it's our job to work with it, and it's not allowed in professional football to make a confidence thing of it, because that would make no sense. If I said it after the game. I know my English is not good enough to make it 100% clear, but if there would be a quality problem, and if there would have been a solution out there, then we would have done it. If there's no solution, if there is nobody, and if there's no real quality issue, then you have to work on it, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
Jürgen, is Philippe Coutinho fit enough to start now if you want him to, or do you think he still needs more minutes to build up his match fitness?
Yeah, you can build up. You can get minutes when you start. So that's not the moment where I talk about about the lineup of tomorrow. But he should be ready. It was really nice how the crowd welcomed him. It was. I think nobody was 100% sure about this. I'm really happy that we were, as a Liverpool family, sensitive enough to do it exactly like this, and I think it was for him good. And yes, how I said, he trained outstanding in the few sessions we made so far together since he's back. Yes, and the game was not perfect, of course, but that's how it is after a long break, and but it helped him and helped us, and so for sure he's ready to think about him.
I'm sure you know a great deal about Burnley. I'm sure you've looked at them and analysed the games and everything else. But if anyone was in any doubt about their quality, the games against Chelsea and Tottenham away this season, is that a warning to everyone really about what they can do?
It's good. It's good, of course, for Burnley, good, but it's also good for all the people around, because I think, yes, they won against Chelsea. Yes, Chelsea was one man down, but that doesn't mean too much against Chelsea. They came up in the last few minutes, but Burnley played really well, used their chances. And what I really like is what Sean Dyche is doing there. So they have a clear plan, 100%, and you can see it, and you can see it, and you can see it in each game. They don't make one step left or one step right. They stick to the plan, and that's so clear, and it's so difficult to play because all these players show big desire to defend all the situations. There's not one player in the team which you think, okay, he gambles a little bit in this or that situation. That's a big strength of Sean, 100%. So, and it's good that everybody knows that they had 2 away games, and these 2 away games they got 4 points from Chelsea and from Tottenham. So nobody should think that tomorrow it's an easy game for us. So, but we know, and that's something I have to consider when I think about the lineup. We need freshness in mind and in legs for this game. So that's how it is, because there will be really small spaces. There's not a lot. Not a lot easy situations how you can outplay them or whatever. That's real. That's proper work. Shooting in the right moments, passing in the right moments, crossing in the right spaces, and all that stuff. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting to play them because they are always on a really high level. Since I am in the league, so since I know them, always on a really high level. And maybe the best game we played against them when the first game when we lost 2-0, we were really strong in this game. We had shooting opportunities, I don't know how many. We had the ball all the time, but they still scored twice, and we didn't score. But it's not that we think about these games. So we made a big step in all the areas you need for these games, but it's difficult, and so everybody should know about this. If we are all ready for work, then it can be really good.
Thank you. Jürgen, does Simon return back in the for tomorrow?
Yeah,
I was just wondering how has he taken this rotation that you have, or you've got going here now? Because I remember when I spoke to you before the Arsenal game, you said he was angry at that situation, but he accepted it. But now with
Did I use the word angry?
I think yeah.
I don't think so.
But he wasn't best pleased.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. That's how it is. Sometimes the easiest thing is for me, because I'm the boss. I can decide things like this, and the players have to take it. So that's, if you ask a goalkeeper, what do you think if I play Loris next game, and if he would say then, oh, that's a good idea, I already want to come in your office and ask you for that, so then something would be really wrong. So that's completely normal. What I think is, and I said it after the game, before the last game, I'm not sure, but we need strong goalkeepers, and we cannot do every year find a new number 2, number 3, number whatever, and say, okay, now they are too young that we want to play them, but they are cool enough to sit on the bench the whole season, or they are that old that they don't want to play anymore. But if we need them, they have to perform on the highest level. And we have young goalkeepers in the best age, and they all are ready to play, all of them. So we have to use this situation for the good of the club and nothing else, of the team. And that's how it is. And they take it. Nobody came in my office and said, boss, you are a peep or whatever. So it's just, you cannot do that. I can do it, and I did it, and I will do it again.
But do you look at it then, just as a sort of supplementary question, do you look at it as number ones, number twos, number threes now, or do you just look at it
He
as
is number one. Simon Mignolet is number one. I said it already. Right? What's the number one? He makes, at the end of the season, he will have 85, 87% of all games, I think. So is that a number one or not? For me, it's the number one. So, and there will be other games, like now the last one in the Champions League, and Loris Karius played. And because he played against Arsenal, I think he was really ready for the game yesterday, on 2 days before. So, and he played really well. He played really well. Obviously, the crowd needs to get a little bit used to his style of play, but this is modern football. So he takes the ball and he plays cool. He has a cool build-up. So, and I don't know one mistake. I can't remember one mistake. So he's in good shape and he's a good goalkeeper. Good for us. That's all.
You've rotated the goalkeepers. You've rotated your right back with Joe and Trent. Do you think that has any impact on how the defensive unit works if you're changing players like that?
It's the situation. You cannot be. We cannot play Joe 6-7 games in a row. He had a bad injury and he's still a young boy. These boys, if they don't grow anymore, the body's still developing. That's how it is. They all change. We have that problem not anymore. So in our age, but already on the wrong side of the of the development. But that's how it is. And Trent is not ready to play 3-4 games in a row. He should not be, and it's absolutely okay. So we have the situation with these two boys, and as long and as often as we can make this. Of course, Joe is in another situation than Trent, because obviously he's 2 years, I think 2 years older. But that's all. If you ask me, then is it good for the defense or not? I don't think we have to. If we cannot use them all the games, why should I think then on the negative side of them say, okay, they are not that used to each other. They played often enough with each other. We didn't concede so far a goal because of the formation, because they didn't work together or whatever. So Trent was involved in the Hoffenheim goal, really involved in the last one. What was it? The 2-1. Which they scored when he wanted to play offside and wasn't offside. Obviously, that was his. Yes, he was tired in this moment already, mentally tired. It's very intense, a game like this. And Joe had now 2 similar situations. So I think the first one, the big chance after they equalized, Joe was a little bit too deep. It was still offside, but obviously not offside enough that the assistant could see it. And then one situation later, it again too late. So 2 situations. The boys have to improve, but they are our boys. It's no problem. And I really don't understand. Only because you are journalists and you have to ask questions. So I understand that you ask questions. But if people would really think about something like this, I could not understand. Because these boys are so exciting. I cannot believe. And the only opportunity for us to make their development more difficult is to bring a shadow of a doubt on them and think, oh, they're really ready. It's that okay? We can play them all top, and they are in different moments. They are already top class players. In other moments, they are still talents. Where's the problem? If you don't think only from today until tomorrow, you can be really happy about this perspective, and don't think about the last game or whatever. We have again the chance to play a really good football game, and we all have to learn. And we learn, and then at one point everything will be good if we really let them develop. I'm cool enough for this.
I wasn't suggesting they weren't good enough, but I was just suggesting that if you play the same players together all the time, they're familiar with each other's games.
After 4 or 5 games, I have 2 injuries. And then I start again, think about who can now play together. So that's not how it works. So in an idle world, I have 11 players and they can play the whole season, and they are the best players. I have never to make a substitution, never to think about injuries. But the world is not only in football, obviously. It's not an idle world. And so we have to make the best of all the different situations. And I'm pretty sure you believe that's what we try.
We've seen James Milner play just majority as a centre midfielder this season. You've said that in the summer that you welcomed him, he was like a new midfielder to the squad. Do you no longer see him as an option at left back anymore?
Interesting. Yes, he is when he's on the pitch or on the bench, and we have to make a decision. How you saw, it's difficult with the fullbacks because of the situation we spoke about already. Andy Robertson was not very often in the squad. Last game he was in the squad against Crystal Palace. He played. Not sure how often he was in the squad before or after that. It's so difficult to leave him out. He's training on highest level. But Alberto Moreno, even when probably 90% of the people here in the room were in big doubt about him, performed outstandingly. So played good offensively and defensively. So, and yeah, that's the situation. And then when we have no second left back, and we would have to make a change, then he would be the left back without training on this position because he trains meanwhile in all the sessions in midfield.
No, anything from the radio side? Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.